Welcome back to the big show. We have Aaron Everett out of Houston and everyone's favorite feline, Venmo. A busy Thursday here at AE Pets. I believe Venmo is helping out with that California portion of that Australia transport. So he's actually working on that right now, and he may not be joining us, may not be chiming in. He may, but he may not. EE, I understand you have a question from Marcus out in San Antonio. If you can enlighten us.
Yes, Marcus asks, are there any options for flying my dog Penelope to Europe where the dog can ride up to the cabin instead of in cargo?
Cargo's safe and all that. It's just not ideal. No one wants to ride in cargo, but there aren't a whole lot of options. But that brings us to an option that's kind of come to the table, and that is Bark Airlines. Question for EE is, American airline wise, what dogs can you not really transport domestically?
There's lots of different categories. Actually, there's three major categories. It's the size of the dog, the breed.
Right, so they don't take big dogs, right?
Yeah, the breed of the dog plays a huge role too. No restricted breeds.
What's a restricted breed? Fighting dogs.
Fighting dogs.
Pit bulls, mastiffs.
Yeah.
And then
one more category. The nub-nosed dogs.
Oh, flat-nosed dogs, brackies, they call them.
Yeah.
The point of this list is that if your pet falls in any of these categories, then it's most likely they can't travel domestically in an aircraft in cargo, in which case the only option may be a road trip, which can be very extensive and not ideal at all. So therefore, Bark Airlines would be a good option if you're stinking rich for those pets. Different ways to get into different countries, but UK is particular. And there are three ways to get into the UK with a pet. That's cargo, which is the standard, what we do. There's a charter flight, which is not cheap because it's like 80 grand at least. Bark Airlines is equivalent to charter, like a charter flight. It's actually what it is. It could probably cost to operate that thing probably 80 grand, and they split it among 10 people. EE, where does it go?
They fly to Los Angeles, Paris, London, and New York. Those are the only four places right now.
Right. And so this is not for the masses. And just since people are asking, can I get on in Bark Airlines? Well, yeah, sure, but it's going to cost you a lot. And then cats. How do they do cats? They
don't do cats. It's only bark.
Aw, right. It's not meow. Venmo.
Sorry.
Venmo. Well, he's not really listening. He's still working on that Australia thing, I think. But anyway, if he was listening, he would be really upset because Bark doesn't take cats. How many seats for those dogs?
Their planes are designed to fit up to 14 dogs and their humans. But it seems as though they never sell more than 9 tickets. So
what?
I guess it ensures that the person and the dog, especially the dog, has ample room to play.
That makes perfect sense, and that's how that is. That makes sense. They could be the flights could be just like $95,000 or $9,000. They could bring that price down, but then you're starting to cram people in, and it's not as comfortable. So this is for the elite. 3 major tiers are at the very bottom is cargo, which is the cheapest, $1,000, $2,000 dog or cat is down in the cargo. Not ideal, but it's safe. The very top tier is going to be Bark. You've got apparently 8 dogs splitting the cost of an $8,000 aircraft or whatever it is, and it's expensive, $9,000. It's a top tier. It's dogs right in there with you, right in the cabin with you. Yay. That's ideal. Everybody wants that, but it's $9,000. Cargo's $1,500, but they're in cargo. The in-between slot, which I think should exist and should be in our future, and we would like to look into it, and we talk about it a lot, is a much larger aircraft where you have it split in half. Front is humans sitting in their seats. Back is pets sitting in their travel crates in rows. Well, you just go down the aisle on the left, you got dogs. Right, you got cats too. And you can hold probably 50 or 60 of them. They're in their crates, but they're accessible. They're not in cargo, and they're accessible by humans. Humans can come back and say hi, and maybe let a couple of them out, the dogs at least. But that's kind of but that's more affordable because instead of 8, you've got 58. And so the cost is much more manageable. And that doesn't exist. And so Bark Airlines, in summary, is a legitimate airline. Apparently they are booked out, at least some of those routes, until the end of the year, but they're not for the masses. Cut!
AE Pets loves their cats and dogs.